And welcome to this digital exclusive podcast with my friend Megan from KZ State Bank. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much for joining us today. Our topic today is actually one that, while we're going to be focused in on what you all do to help educate children, I think there's not an adult out there who's going to see this who doesn't realize the importance of financial literacy. April is Financial Literacy Awareness Month, and you all do some great things in your community to help educate, not just during April, but all year long. So first and foremost, let me ask about KZ State Bank, and let me ask about how important it is for you to be involved in the community and with kids when it comes to anything, because you guys are so involved.
We are very much involved in our community. We have been family owned and operated since 1968. And we've started sponsoring the local schools with Bonsai, which is a online financial literacy program. Mm-hmm. And we started that back in 2017. So we're on our 6th year of the sponsorship.
What's the feedback been like from folks before we get into the details of it?
Yeah, so the teachers love the program. They say it's super easy to use, and the students think it's great because they're learning things in an interactive way on their computers.
So Bonsai itself is an online program. How does this work in a classroom setting, and how do we differentiate from, say, a 3rd grader or a 10th grader when it comes to financial literacy?
Yeah, so Bonsai has different levels for the different schools. So your younger students are going to learn things that are more, age appropriate than your older students that are getting ready to go to college. Mm-hmm. They're going to need to know about student loans, about, having a job and what that entails with paying taxes, and then your utilities, your rent, having a mortgage, getting a car loan. There's just so much.
And that's the thing, is I think it encompasses such a large amount of information that it's nice that you're able to offer this program, because you and I have talked about this. We don't do enough in schools, quite frankly. We're so focused in on that college prep and those science classes and algebra. And again, I'm not saying those things aren't important, but there's never really this class that tells a kid how to balance a checkbook or pay bills or pay taxes. The things that we all dread as adults, you have to learn somewhere, right?
Oh, yes. And they also learn how to budget their money. They've got jars of, okay, you need to put this much in this jar, for your food, this mm-hmm. much for your home, this much for your utilities. Saving, you never know what's going to happen. So you got to save for that unexpected.
When our nation has hit times where we've been in financial crisis, and you hear some of the reasons why, I do think we've done a disservice to many young kids over time, because those are things you don't learn. And if you don't learn it and someone doesn't teach you, how are you expected to know? We are a society of wants. We all want everything, and we don't realize it takes a little time to save and think about budgets and how to live, because maybe you can't afford the expensive car and maybe you need to work your way up. Are these conversations that are part of the Bonsai program?
I think some of them are. I haven't gotten to go through every single aspect of the Bonsai program.
Sure.
But the way the students have said that it helps them prepare, how do you get good credit? That's something that some people don't think about.
Right. And it's part of our everyday lives. So once they get that first job at 16 or 17 years old, and they get that first paycheck, and they're like, wait a minute, I thought I was making $15 an hour. Where'd this money go? I mean, I remember that emotion as a kid myself, right?
Oh, yeah. I hated that.
We don't get to keep it, and it's not fair. So if we have someone seeing this podcast right now who's in education, who's part of one of the schools in the area, and they want to get signed up for Bonsai, how does that work?
Yeah, they just go to the website, kzstatebank.bonsai.org, mm-hmm. and there's a place for them to sign up. It shows the schools that we currently sponsor. There's 15 of them.
Oh, wow.
And if they're at a school that we don't currently sponsor, Bonsai reaches out to us and says we have a person that's interested and asks if we want to sponsor.
It's really that simple then.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why anyone wouldn't do this if they have the opportunity to be part of something so important in the education process. Can we talk about the adults in the room too, and as far as your banks, where you're located, and what services you offer to people just on a general basis when it comes to banking?
Yeah. So we are in 6 locations. We are in, our main bank is in Casey. Then we're in Martinsville, Marshall, Lawrenceville, Robinson, and now we're in Mattoon.
Wow. So you're really covering all of the Wabash Valley when it comes to our Illinois viewers, and I think it's wonderful. We appreciate what you do as far as helping us to be able to bring these podcasts out and share information in a more in-depth approach, because folks need to know that you joined me on Good Day Live for a small segment, but this gave us a chance to really expand on this program. So once again, what is that website for teachers or anybody who want to learn about bonsai?
It's kzstatebank.bonsai.org.
All righty, kzstatebank.bonsai.org. And what is your website for the bank?
It's kzstate.bank.
kzstate.bank. That's where you can learn all the information you want about KZ State Bank. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
Really
me.
appreciate your time. And to everybody watching, thanks for tuning in for this podcast. This digital exclusive as part of Good Day Live allows us to share with you the opportunity to learn more, gain more knowledge, and in this case, hopefully help you gain knowledge for the young ones in your life with financial literacy in this important month and an important topic. Thanks for joining us.